Hey everyone, in this tutorial I am going to extend upon the previous tutorial I created about how to create a PDF using PHP. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use that project, but we're going to alter it so that when a form is filled out, it sends an email using PHP Mailer to whichever email address you'd like, and it also attaches a PDF to that particular email. We're going to be using PHP Mailer for this. So let's get started. Just before I go any further, I'll show you this in action. So we'll just type in some details. And hit send email. And what that's going to do in the background, as you can see, it's working up there. It's going to send an email to whichever email you want. It's going to then take you to a thank you screen. And to check if the email's been received, as you can see, we've received it here. It comes up with the data from the form, and it also attaches the PDF, which we created earlier as a PDF. You might be wondering what MailTrap is. MailTrap's just a really useful service that allows you to create a fake email address, and your test emails go through there, and it gives you some more information about the email that you've received and analysis and all that sort of stuff. And it just saves you from having to spam your own inbox. So I'll show you how to quickly set that up as well. All right, so let's get started. I'm just going to open up the project, and you might, if you haven't seen the previous video, you might want to watch it so you get up to speed. And as you can see, we still have the old stuff which says create your own PDF. So what we're going to do is firstly, we're going to change it to send inquiry. And we'll also change the description to this, which is complete the below form to email us. Okay, so if we actually, I'm just going to go to the actual project. There we go. So this is the actual project. And if we go further down the screen, we'll just change create PDF to send email. Great. And just to make it neat, we'll change it to inquiry form, the title of the page. Great. Okay, so now if we fill this out and hit send, it's still going to just create a PDF like we set up in the previous project. And as you can see, it works perfectly. So what happens when we fill out the form, it goes to this PHP file, which then handles all the data and creates a PDF from that. What we want to do now is we still want to create that PDF, but we don't want it to just download to the browser. We want it to save into a variable, which we can then attach that variable into the PHP mailer and then send it across. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is let's just make a quick change to how the PDF is output. So right now it's output to a file and it's downloaded to the screen. We're going to make that a variable now, so PDF equals, and we're going to make it so that it just outputs to a string and don't give it a name. Okay, good. So we're going to output it to a string. Now when it runs, it's basically storing the PDF in this variable, which we can then use further down the line. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to integrate PHP Mailer. So to integrate PHP Mailer, let's go to Google and look for PHP Mailer. And there's a lot of documentation on it. And we're going to use Composer to install PHP Mailer as well. So if you want to know how to do that, just watch the previous video and that will explain it to you. So if you go into the terminal in that specific project, and then you type in Composer require PHP Mailer. Now Composer is going to do its magic, and I will let you, I'll pause this now so you don't have to wait, and we'll go from there. Okay, so PHP Mailer is now installed. And as I mentioned before, the auto load is what brings the class into your project. So you really don't have to do anything else. However, with PHP Mailer, we do have to do one little thing, which is add a couple of namespaces. So if we go here and we copy this from the PHP Mailer GitHub page and just paste that on top, the first thing on top of our PHP script. Okay. And if we now scroll down, this is going to give us a simple example of how the PHP Mailer works. What I'm going to do to make things simpler is that after the PDF is created, we're going to run a function. So I'm going to create a function, and it's going to be called send email. And inside there, we're going to pass that PDF which was created as a string. And we're also going to pass in something called inquiry data. And the inquiry data is basically this information. We're going to put this information, all this data here, into one array, which we can pass through to the function, and then it will then send it through via email to us. So let's create that little function, the little array. So grab inquiry data. We'll call it inquiry data equals, and we'll open up a new array. And inside there, we'll do first name, and we'll relate it to the variable fname, and then last name, name, and then email, phone, message. Great. So we've got that array set up now. So that array is then going to pass into the function, which then PHP Mailer will use. Now what we want to do is we want to go back into PHP Mailer and grab what we need. So this is the stuff we need for the script to run. Okay. And let's paste it into our function. Now there are a lot of different settings here. So let's just go one by one. Debug will give us a debug log if there's an error. So we'll leave that on for now. And is SMTP, so we definitely need that so we can send it via an SMTP server. When you go live, you can use SendGrid, Mailgun, Amazon, whatever you want, even Gmail, I believe. You'll just have to put those settings in here. In this case, we're going to use Mailtrap, and when you set up a free Mailtrap account, it gives you some SMTP details. So we can just grab this information here, and we'll paste it into there. So smtp.mailtrap.io. I'm going to use port 2525. And, where did that go? Yep. We don't need to make it TLS, but we'll just leave it TLS anyway. We'll grab the password, the username. And we'll also grab the password. And that should be it with Mailtrap. So now when we send an email, it's automatically going to come through to Mailtrap. Okay, great. So we've done that. We also have set from, so that's the email address that it's going to be from. So let's just do this test@myemail.com, and we'll call it test form. So that's the actual name of the person that's sending the email. We'll take away, so you'll notice there are two add addresses here. Just remove one, unless you do want to have two addresses in there that you're sending it to. You can just do that. I'm just going to leave it as this person because it's all coming through to Mailtrap, so it's not actually sending it to that email address. But when you do go live, you might want to make sure that goes to the administrator of the website. I'm also going to remove reply to, and I'll remove add BCC and add CC. So you can use that if you want, but I'm just going to remove that. And we're also going to remove one of the attachments. And we'll actually delete both the attachments. And we'll save that now. And one thing we have to do as well is just run the function. So after we've created the PDF, we want to actually run the function by doing this. It's going to run the function. It's going to send the data through to the function, and the function is going to run. Okay, so run the function. Cool. All right. So let's try this. It's still quite rough. Let's see how it goes when we actually run the script. Okay, it's doing something, which is good. So we'll just wait and see. Okay, great. So we did get a response, and it says okay, which is good, which means that the message has been sent. So if we actually go into Mailtrap now and we just refresh our mailbox, here we go. The email has come through. The subject and the description are not customized yet, and there's no attachment. Okay, good. So let's now add the attachment. So if we go into the PHP Mailer GitHub, or just go on Google and do PHP Mailer attachment string, or string attachment, it will actually give you some information. Actually, I'll type in string attachment. And this will explain to you how to add a string attachment. Where is it? Okay, there we go. So that's how it needs to be. So we'll copy that and we'll paste it in here. I'll just put a comment there, and we just want to actually just put PDF. So that is the variable which passed through the PDF string. It's going to add it as a string attachment, and then we'll call it myattachment.pdf. Okay, let's run the script again and then check Mailtrap and see if the email comes through with the attachment. Okay, so something's happened there. Great, okay, message has been sent. We'll go back into Mailtrap and we'll refresh it again. Click into it. Oh, awesome, attachments on the right hand side. myattachment.pdf. Click on it. It'll actually load up the data which was in that PDF. Okay, cool. So now we have an attachment. Let's just edit the actual content and the subject of the email. So as you already know, we created an array which is called inquiry data. Now let's add that into the email that gets sent. So in this function, let's create a blank variable called email body, and then we're going to concatenate some information onto that variable and then make it display inside here. Okay, so email body is a blank variable, and then we'll do email body dot equals, and then just do a h1 for a heading 1, email inquiry from, and then we might want to put the name of the person, so we'll just do space and then dot, and then we'll add inquiry data fname. So that's referring to actually, no, we want to, yeah, okay, so that, I think that should work. We'll try that. If that doesn't work, we will fix that. Okay, so that's the title of the email body, and then we want to do a for each statement. So for each inquiry data as title data, and then we want to concatenate each row. So email body dot equals, we'll do a bold for the title, and then close off the bold. And then we also want to just do maybe like a colon, and then do another dot, and then the data, and then dot again, and then break. So the dots are just to separate the actual variables from the text. And that should be about it. So now we've got the variable email body. Let's go and paste it into here so that is the email body. And then here, alt body is actually like a simple text email. So let's just do the same thing, but we'll strip the tags so there's no HTML, and that will then display just with plain text if it's a plain HTML email. And then in the subject, we can do whatever we want. But if you wanted to customize it, you could just do inquiry from, and then do dot inquiry data first name or fname, and that's it. So let's see how that goes. I'm going to put my name, just put my email, phone number, and this is a test message, and we'll hit send email, and we'll see what it does now. Okay, so there was an issue here. I thought this would happen. Fname, and yeah, fname is incorrect. Okay, good. So what the problem was is that we used the key as like a full, we used the space in the key. We need to actually just put fname like that, lname, email, phone, and message. Cool. All right. So now that should work. If we go back, hit send email again, let's see what it does. Okay, scroll to the bottom. message has been sent. If we refresh the screen, you should see email inquiry from Sean, F name, L name, email, phone, message. And also the attachment is located in there as well, which is fantastic. Okay, now what we want to do now is send the actual page to another page once it's done. Firstly, we need to set debug to be, oh my bad, that's the wrong one we're looking at. Let's go here. Yep, okay, debug needs to be false. And then once it has been sent, it says message has been sent. So what we want to do is we want to just go here and we want to type in header, and then location, and we will create another page called thanks.php. So we'll do thanks.php and we'll do a question mark and we'll pass a variable to there so that we can customize the thank you page. So we'll do fname equals, and then we'll do inquiry data fname. Great. So what that's going to do is it's going to send the email, and once it's sent, it's going to redirect the user to a thanks.php page. So let's create that page, thanks.php, and let's just copy the information from the index.php to keep it simple. And we'll get rid of the form from there, and we'll change the title to thank you. And you can actually add the variable in there now. So you could do PHP echo underscore get fname. Okay, and what we'll do is in the container we'll do h1 thank you, and then paste the name. Close the tag, and then P, we have received your inquiry. Great. So let's try that out now. I'm just going to hit send email. What that's going to do is it's going to create the PDF and then connect with PHP Mailer, send the email, and then send us back to a page that says thank you. One thing I didn't do is center the information, or the response. So now it should be centered. But if we actually go into Mailtrap and do a refresh, I accidentally deleted the emails from the mailbox. So we'll try that again. Beautiful. Refresh it. Inquiry from Sean. You'll notice that there's no space in the subject there. So to fix that up, we need to... I'm just trying to find my project here. We need to go back to the Make PDF page, and in the subject we need to just put a space there. But anyway, you'll notice that the data has fed through and there is also an attachment there. And you must excuse me because I did make a slight mistake when I was explaining how to send over the data to the function. In the email, you do not want it to actually come up with, let's have a look, F name, L name. You actually want it to have proper names. So what we can do is we can go back into our project and we'll change the labels here again to first name, last name, email, phone, and message. And then let's go down here and change all of these to what we want. So there, and there's also there, and also here as well. And that should do it. So let's give it one more go. I'm just going to clear the mailbox. And let's go. Send email. And let's just wait in Mailtrap to see what happens here. Cool, so the email sent. If we refresh it, the emails come through, inquiry from Sean, email inquiry from Sean, first name, last name, email, phone, message, attachment, my attachment.pdf, which is attached as well. And that's it. So I hope I've explained to you quite basically how to set this up. Obviously you can customize it as much as you want. I do wish you luck. When you do switch over to live server, you do need to make sure that you change your SMTP details to reflect, whichever provider you're going to use. And once you do that, everything should work perfectly. If you have any questions, please comment below, and I hope this has helped you. Have a great day. Bye.